My name is Justin O'Brien. I'm a financial advisor and I work at Root Financial. It allows me to be my authentic self. I think that a lot of times when you work for a company, you have to find a fit their model and fit the way that they want you to portray yourself. And Root was one of the first companies that I've ever worked at where I felt like I could just be my own person, be there and be present as myself and help people in the way that I wanted to help people. And that was like a big differentiator for me and what inspired me to come to Root in the first place. Everything needs to be directed towards your goals. So a lot of times when people think about financial planning, they want to optimize their situation, pay the least amount in taxes, have the best investments, but nothing can be optimized to the extent that you don't have a goal or a purpose for it. And so really understanding and picturing and building a plan with your spouse or whoever you're planning with and understanding where you're trying to go is what allows you to get into the nitty-gritty details of the investment planning and then, incorporating that into the way that you just approach life, having a process, a framework for financial planning and a decision-making, matrix to understand how we want to live our life and how we want to prioritize our decisions is what I try to work with and help clients with. When it comes to investment management, I like to keep it simple. I don't think that there's any need to create, a super robust, complex portfolio. There are things that are tried and true, backed by research, backed by data, that I think is the most important to incorporate into your portfolio, into your investment strategy to help support the bigger picture, which is your long-term goals, the things that you care about. If you spend so much time in the weeds on your portfolio, then you're missing the rest of life. My number one goal is to give clients a feeling of peace and assuredness. I think a lot of times that, advisors, when they first start, they want to save clients money. They want to prepare them for having the best finances possible moving forward. And that's a little bit less of what we focus on here. We want clients to get the most out of life with their money, but we also want them to feel confident in spending their money to get that life. I grew up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I was actually born in Virginia, but quickly thereafter we moved up to PA. And I grew up in a pretty small family, kind of just hung out with my younger brother. Wasn't anything crazy, My parents both worked in the medical field, had a really great experience with them growing up, and they kind of inspired my love for finance and numbers. They did a little bit more of the medical side of things, where they talked a little bit about how they helped people and served people in that way. And I wanted to help people, wanted to serve people from the beginning. I just ended up pursuing a little bit of a different route because I was a little bit more technically and analytically inclined. I did not personally grow up around a lot of animals, but my wife grew up and they had a lot of animals in their household. And so when we first met, she had, a few cats. She had, I think, 3 or 4 at the time. And we decided to get into cat and foster care for animals. So that was something that really drove us, is service to all living things. I tend to gravitate towards service towards people and helping people out. She loves animals, and we both work together to feel like we can create a safe, positive environment to help people and their lives, as well as animals and their lives. What's unique about my approach is that service is like the basic function. That is, every single financial advisor or person that you hire should be primarily focused on service. But the differentiator is being able to communicate complex tasks, to teach and empower clients, to help them make decisions within a process, our Sequoia system, our framework for making decisions ongoing for your financial goals. That is the differentiator, and being able to take the most complex tax planning problems and make them fun. Bring in examples, bring in stories to tell a robust situation that can relate to you as a client, that can make you feel like, yes, this is exciting, this is interesting, this is going to help me. If you value someone who puts service as the number one priority in their practice and who likes to teach, likes to break down complex situations, then I would love for you to reach out and work with me so that we can build a plan together.